Hello, I'm Mona Santana. This is my daily gratitude list where I list and talk about 5 things I'm grateful for that hopefully you can relate to as well. Number 1, electricity. I am grateful for electricity, and I bet you are too, because without it, we wouldn't even be able to connect like we are right now. There would be no internet, there would be no computers or whatever. Basically, we wouldn't have about 80% of the things that we do throughout the day. So, I mean, we really should stop and say, hey, thanks, electricity, and the countless people who worked tirelessly to be able to harness its power so that we could use it in the way that we do. It's, a thing that occurs naturally, but we were able to harness the power of it, which is pretty incredible. And ever since then, we have been able to do just all kinds of things that would be impossible to list. Can you imagine? Jesus Christ. It's just everything. Electricity we just use it for everything. I always say this, that stop and think about the things that you're doing throughout the day, and think about how many things that we use electricity for throughout your day. And, so you can just sort of be more aware of the things that you should not take for granted. And so electricity, I would say, is definitely a thing we should have a lot of gratitude for, because Jesus Christ, it's just everything, isn't it? I mean, it's just completely impossible to be able to live the way that we do without it. So, I think that gratitude is something that we should definitely have for it. So thank you, electricity. Number 2, I am grateful for cacti, cactuses. I'm pretty sure it's cacti. But anyway, I think that cactus are really cool or cacti. I think they're really cool because they look very unique. And they don't look like any other kind of plant that I can think of. They're amazing to see when you go into a desert, especially if you drive through Arizona, which isn't that far from where I'm at. There are these gorgeous cacti. They're just these super tall. I mean, there's all kinds of them too. There's like little tiny ones. But they're really amazing. If you stop and think about cacti and how unique they are. It's bizarre how they don't really look like any other plant. And they also have like this amazing defense mechanism, so just don't touch them. That's a bad idea. I did that one time by accident. I was in where was I? Desert Springs or something like that. There was like a whole bunch of little cactus, and I walked past them and brushed on them by accident. And that was really painful. Then you gotta pick them all out and everything. But nevertheless, I think they're super cool. I love them. If you don't have anywhere you live, then maybe that's like a really interesting excursion that you can make for yourself at some point, to be able to see different types of terrain. And I would say a desert terrain is really, really interesting to see, and the cactus looks super cool. And then some of them have flowers, and in Southern California, we have this giant bloom where all the cacti bloom, and it's just stunning. So, consider that an option as a getaway at some point, or a holiday, or vacation, or vacances. I don't know, whatever you call it. Number 3, I am grateful for blackout curtains. If you're like me and you're kind of a nocturnal animal, then you should have a lot of gratitude for blackout curtains, because they make it so that you can sleep during the day. I don't always do that, but definitely I would say for quite a number of years there, I was definitely a completely nocturnal person. So I'd go to bed at like 6 in the morning, just as the sun's starting to come up, and I'd get up at like 2. And so I had this really crazy kind of lifestyle that suited me, but I suppose it's not for everyone. But blackout curtains definitely are a great invention if you're this type of person, or if you're like, going on some vacation again, I know that it's impossible to go to Las Vegas without finding them in every single hotel room, so they know what's up. But anyway, so I love blackout curtains. I know it's kind of a silly thing, but so what? I want to be grateful for them today because, you know, I don't think it's a thing that we think about a lot. It's sort of like, well, there they are, you know, whatever. And you may not even ever use them because you could just be like a morning person and never need them. But maybe if you were to film something, or who knows, there could be a number of reasons that you might need them anyway. But I think they're pretty cool. They serve a heck of a perfect purpose in my life. So thank you, blackout curtains. Number four, I am grateful for David Bowie. And I'm saying David Bowie because today is the anniversary of his death, actually. And I couldn't help but think about how much gratitude I have for David Bowie, because he brought so much into our lives. I mean, he was so influential and he was so incredible in the music that he made and just his artistic vision and the countless people that he inspired as an artist. And I mean, the list is pretty endless, but I mean, you can see it in a lot of places. And, you know, pay attention today. I mean, I guess when you're watching this would probably be when I'm posting this, I should say, is the day after. But nevertheless, you could still take time to be grateful for David Bowie. If you're not familiar with David Bowie, you know, maybe familiarize yourself, because he's got something for everyone, because his career spanned decades, many decades, and you can hear music from David Bowie from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, you know. And then, of course, he also was a painter, which maybe you may or may not know, but he had quite a lot of different interests artistically, and he definitely expressed himself to the fullest. And I personally feel like people who are that courageous to express themselves and like put themselves out there to that extent, I think it's pretty impressive. And I think David Bowie was a person who gave us so much of himself. You know, it's really interesting that you can go look back on his career and see the many different sides of David Bowie. And, you know, he lived a hell of a life, you know. I mean, up until his death, with his last album, Black Star, which is just so completely poetic. And I personally feel that David Bowie is somebody that we should really appreciate, even if you're not particularly a fan at this moment. But I think that you could definitely appreciate, you know, the type of art that he was putting out. Even if it doesn't appeal to you, you can definitely say, wow, this person was really prolific and definitely lived his life's purpose. So thank you, David Bowie. Much love to every single thing that he gave us, which to me is just priceless. Number 5, I am grateful for books. Let's remember books. Do you guys remember books? I still like to read books, like actual books. I like the smell of the paper. I like the, you know, just holding a book and being able to read it instead of, you know, looking at a computer with a light behind it, you know, which eventually tires your eyes. You know, like I like pages. I like turning a page. I like that they teach us a lot, even if it's even if it's a fiction book. They teach us a lot too, you know, because then you use your mind more creatively, and it expands your horizons in ways that maybe you wouldn't have thought of before you read the book. So I would say, if you're not an avid reader, you know, consider reading a book, like, you know, in the next couple months or something like that, just to remember that you didn't have to go to school just to read a book, because they're actually very useful. I mean, okay, fine. Even if it's like a Kindle, or it's on your computer, or it's on your phone or whatever, that's a book too. You know, I personally prefer a tangible book, but I'm not against reading on my phone. Sometimes I do that. Like say if, you know, it's kind of like on a flight, for instance, that's pretty handy, because a lot of times it's kind of dark. So you have, you know, like the light does come in really handy for that. Yeah, books have been the source of inspiration throughout the centuries for everyone in the world, and not just inspiration, but information, and, you know, countless other things. Books have just been like completely necessary. So I think we should be grateful for books. I am grateful for books. I have some favorites. Do you have any favorites? You know, let me know in the comments if you feel like sharing. If you have any questions or anything like that, or you just want to connect with somebody because you're bored. It doesn't really matter why, but you know, if you feel like commenting, that'd be great. I'd be more than happy to answer. And also, thank you for tuning in again. And I'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to my channel, because then the algorithms make it so more people see my videos, and that's my aim. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.